Welcome to the Project with Sam and Lewis, the podcast that looks at projects throughout pop culture and history. I'm Sam.
I'm Lewis.
And for the very first time...
I'm Amy.
Yay! We've got our very first guest on.
Are you sure you're Amy?
I don't even know.
Very questioning there.
I didn't know what I was supposed to say.
So yeah, you probably heard Amy's name mentioned a couple of times.
Amy.
And yeah, she's appearing on the podcast for the very first time here.
Yeah.
How are you finding it so far?
Surreal.
Yeah.
I don't know whether
It's like meeting the celebrities.
I think Amy's probably our number one listener, I'd imagine.
Well,
sorry, no, not to
like
that we know of in person.
Yeah,
anyway,
like of the people we know, she's probably the only
sorry.
person that's listened to every episode.
There's someone sitting in their
biggest fan.
home thinking, I'm the number one listener.
Yeah.
Well, it comes out
You're
at
all
7,
you're all number one listeners.
7 on a Monday, and I listen at 7:30 when I need to.
Right.
I
So one of
win.
the
I
early
win.
listeners, probably.
Yeah.
So this is the second episode of ProjOctober. So ProjOctober, Lewis.
Yeah, so for this month, for Halloween, we're getting the spookiest topics we can find of. Last week we did a video game. Today we're doing a TV show, and then we've got a report and a film coming up later on this month.
That's right. So for this episode, we are talking about the 1972 anime Devilman,
Devilman.
which I think might be the earliest thing that we've covered.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it
Media,
is.
Anyway,
It
yeah.
felt very early.
I think the earliest we looked at before was Project A.
Yeah,
which was like
83.
mid-80s.
Yeah, 1983. Yeah, I mean, we've covered some topics that were a bit earlier, probably.
Yeah, the reports
Yeah,
tend
And
to be earlier.
I'm a massive anime fan, so
That's why we got Amy
that's
on
why
for
you got
today.
me on.
Yeah, you know, who's the biggest anime fan we know? Obviously Amy. Like, she even shares some letters with anime.
Amy, anime. That's why my
Yeah.
parents call me.
Anime is what we call her.
Yeah, anime.
That's for a whole different reason. But yeah, before we get into that, how is everyone today?
Yeah, not bad. Been working this week. It's been quite a busy week, actually.
Yeah, definitely.
And like, obviously, I've had something on like pretty much every evening as well. So I feel like I haven't really had much free time.
No,
But
fair
you know,
enough.
that's what apparently it's like when you have a job.
That is what it's like. I do it every week, and it is.
How's your
tiring.
week been, Amy?
Good. I was about to say stressful. Stressful and good.
It's allowed to be stressful.
It
allowed
was
to be
stressful.
stressful.
It was stressful.
Well, it's
but-
Friday night now, isn't it? It's another evening recording.
Yeah.
Spooky evening recording for ProjOctober.
Get in the mood of the spookiness.
We're going to move on to project news.
Yeah. So, like every week, I've Googled the word project and picked out a couple of articles that may interest us. One going back to like the old theme that we used to like to do.
Oh God.
Gigantic solar project plans to power Singapore all the way from Australia.
Why is it always environmental?
I think a lot
There's
of projects
so many
are
projects
environmental.
involving the
I
environment.
think it's just when you search project, a lot of it
Yeah.
will be someone saying new wind farm project. You know, it's architectural or
yeah.
environmental.
Yeah.
What was the one last week? Anyway, sorry. Don't worry. Carry on.
You listen to last week's episode if you want to know. Basically, because like Singapore is like a city state, it's so small.
Right. Okay.
They haven't got enough space to do like their own like solar panel farms.
Right.
So they've made a deal with Australia to build like a huge solar panel farm in the outback and have like a underwater wire go straight to Singapore and
God.
power Singapore.
That sounds sick.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it sounds pretty cool, and it's good that
Cool.
like countries are working together for
Yeah,
environmental stuff, and it just seems pretty cool. Like I don't know, like how it must be
cool.
like a massive.
It's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
It is cool, right?
Can see what the dynamic's going to be.
Fuck you guys.
How cool is it?
Just because
Lewis?
you want like climate change to happen.
We're very pro climate change.
It's not
in this
real, it's a
household.
myth.
Yeah, yeah. Well, pro climate change, but we think it's a myth.
Yes,
know?
very
Makes it
specific.
Not all of us.
No, in this household.
Yeah, not me. I don't live here.
Sam's my roommate.
Yeah, that's it.
So yeah, I just thought that was, a fun little one.
Cool.
And then the other one is frostbite climber Nigel Vardy to feature in Bear Grylls projects.
Oh my God.
So a mountaineer was taking part in an online educational program set up by Bear Grylls and
shit.
almost died in Alaska.
Oh my God.
So
he was doing it from his own home, an online educational thing.
oh yeah, they've got this new thing in the world, Sam, called like 4G. Some places have 5G.
Right.
You can take the internet on the go.
I thought he just fell into his freezer.
No, you joke, but he lost part of his fingers, toes, and nose to frostbite,
Nose.
Heads, fingers, toes, and
and
nose.
still went to become the first Briton to scale the highest mountains on the world's 7 largest islands.
Well,
That's pretty
afterwards.
cool.
After he got...
Afterwards.
Oh shit, that is actually
So like
impressive.
he's
That's
a
pretty
pretty like badass guy, and he's now going to be doing stuff with Bear Grylls because Bear Grylls is like, oh shit, you lost your shit because of me.
Feels a little bit guilty.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he looks like a fairly old guy. Like, look at the picture. I reckon he's in
He looks
his.
pretty good.
Pretty
I
old
look at-
man.
He hasn't got his age, but he looks like he's in his 50s.
That is very
So,
so,
like-
Oh,
And like,
I just imagined like an 80-year-old man.
no, I mean, I couldn't climb mountains, and I'm not in my 50s. He continued to climb mountains despite all the frostbite injuries he's had. So like,
That is good though.
he's a good lad.
he's a
Good for that dude. And good
Yeah.
for
So
Singapore.
is he gonna? Sorry, what were you saying?
Good for that dude and good for Singapore.
Oh,
This is
good for
positivity.
Singapore, yeah.
Yeah.
The positivity project was kind of. We said that a couple of times in earlier
Yeah,
episodes.
you know, it's good. It's good in a world of like bad
Yeah.
stuff. It's good to bring some light into
Yeah.
it with
Well, yeah.
talking frostbite and
Although
nearly
the
dying.
environmental ones, you know, we don't always have too much to
Yeah.
say. It's normally good news.
we
so
tend to
it's still
focus on the
nice.
positives,
Even though it low-key reminds everyone of their existential dread.
Oh right.
and that's the sort of guest Amy's going to be. Everyone.
Cool.
But yeah,
No?
that's the news for the week. Let's
Nice.
head
Well
into
done.
the
Yeah,
main
we're heading
topic.
into the main topic. So so we are looking at Devilman, 1972 anime, specifically a episode which I can't find the title of.
The Demon Beast, the Adal project. Oh no, the Dummy project.
Let me
The
just
Demon
find-
Beast Adal, the Dummy project.
That's it. The Demon Beast Adal, the Dummy Project.
Yeah.
Is the English translation.
Yeah,
So that's why we're doing it, because it's got project.
yeah,
in the-
and you know
in
it's the
name,
Devilman, which is great
The
for
Devilman.
a spooky month.
Absolutely. So, Lewis, have you got any descriptions? Or
Yeah,
anything
well,
like
I
that on
couldn't
the-
find the description for the anime, but I've got the description of the manga it was based on.
Right. Okay. Cool.
Which is the manga focuses on a high school student named Akira Fudo who absorbs the power of the demon called Amon with the help of his friend Ryo Asuka in order to battle creatures hidden in human society, thus calling himself the Devilman in the process.
Oh, cool.
Fair.
So
Okay,
the
that
basic
sounds quite
concept
good.
is that like he's been
Yeah.
possessed by a demon, but he uses that to fight against other demons that are destroying the world.
I think the version we watched has a slightly different.
Yeah,
concept
but
to it,
the one
but
we
yeah,
watched
that
was
sounds
it was
different.
the first adaptation of the manga.
Right. Okay.
There's been a few since, but that
'Cause,
was
yeah, 'cause
the
there's-
original.
fairly recently, I think 2018 or something. There's Devilman Crybaby.
That's on
which
Netflix,
is the
yeah,
Netflix
which
one.
I watched some of last night.
Oh, you did
and
watch some, yeah.
We'll talk about the end because
I watched the whole
Is
thing
that the
through.
one?
Bloody
What was
hell.
that one?
It's incredibly
Did we start
graphic.
watching that?
yeah, we'll talk about
We
that.
watched a bit of it. Amy,
We'll talk
yeah,
about
yeah,
that at the
yeah.
end.
But
But
yeah, we can do a bit of that in the.
Yeah, I
we've
think
got
I remember
much-
that being very surreal as well.
We haven't got much trivia, so instead
Yeah.
of that, we've got a couple of bits to go through.
so should talk the people behind the making.
yeah, please
Yeah.
do. Yeah,
The creator of Devilman was a guy called Go Nagai, who's done like a shitload of quite popular manga
cool.
in Japan. The TV show, the directors, I didn't really recognize the names or the people. There's one guy in it who was in the Japanese version of the Pokemon movie in '97,
Right, okay.
Oh,
and that's the
okay.
most recognizable person for me as an English person who's never watched Japanese
'cause
anime.
We watched a subtitle version, didn't we?
Yeah.
I don't know if there's an English dub
But
anywhere.
interestingly, the writer was a guy called Masaki Tsuji,
Okay.
who
That's a great
wrote the
name.
film Kimber the White Lion.
Oh right, yeah.
Kimber the White
do you know
Lion.
that, Amy?
What's that?
Kimber the White Lion was a late 70s, early 80s Japanese film about a lion cub whose father dies and he takes over the pride.
Oh.
And it's widely reported that Lion King is a complete rip-off.
I mean, even
of
the
Kimber.
the
told me about that.
cover
I remember
is
that.
very it's pretty dead.
So
on,
the guy who
Yeah,
wrote
that's- yeah.
the guy who wrote Devilman wrote Kimber.
wrote Lion
Oh my
King.
God.
He
Basically.
wrote Lion King basically.
And they're like, no, it's based on Hamlet.
Well, yeah, I mean that as well.
That too, but it is very much like Kimber.
So what's this guy's name again?
Masuki Tsuji.
Yeah, so him and Elton John are responsible for the Lion King.
Yeah, and
basically.
don't
They
get me wrong,
collaborated together. They know
I
each other.
fucking love The Lion King. I mean, it's brilliant.
Do you actually?
It's genuinely one of my favourite films of all
Aw.
time.
That's so
Like, it's just
wholesome.
brilliant, and like I still cry every time I watch it.
Aw.
Also, you guys have never seen The Sixth Sense.
Yeah, great time to bring that up.
Sorry, I just got
it's
reminded.
from a couple episodes ago.
Oh, was it? Okay,
Yeah.
sorry.
Well, because we've got one that you haven't
But also,
heard yet.
that's
We're one
weird,
ahead.
and you need to watch it.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
maybe we'll have that conversation when we're not recording the podcast.
It's relevant. Talking about
Okay.
movies.
Is it relevant?
Talking about films.
The only other thing, there wasn't a Rotten Tomato score, obviously, because it's quite obscure.
Right.
But the IMD was
It's really
a
underground.
IMD was a predictable 6.7, which says
fucking
absolutely
hell.
nothing because
6.7.
So everything we
Everything
watch is
is-
between 6 and 7.
yeah, because why not?
'Cause why not?
Because why not?
So we haven't got any box office or numbers or anything to
No.
this, have we?
I guess it's just one episode, isn't it? So
Yeah, even for the series, I think.
There was 41 episodes.
It's too underground.
Yeah,
of
I
this
saw.
series.
I saw something about that. That was, I think, in the trivia. There was like 2 things, and one was about how many episodes there were, and I was like, "Cool, I'm not going to bother writing that down." But Lewis has
41
written that down.
episodes.
I didn't even find that in trivia. It literally just says on IMDb 41
Okay.
episodes. Like,
So yeah. So should we move into the plot of the
we
episode
start with the theme tune, which we listened before
yeah.
we started recording. Absolutely banging.
Yeah,
like,
it's
it is
incredible,
proper
yeah.
brilliant.
It's very catchy. I've got it in my
The
head.
beer
Still.
woman. Yeah, we were singing along before we started because like
Yeah.
it is just great.
It's great. I think that would be the second or third. Well, at least the second time, potentially the third time we've listened to it. And yeah,
It's
It-
very long.
It's quite long. For like a 25-minute show.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like 2 minutes long.
and there's an outro at the end.
Yeah,
that's,
which is also great.
Also great, very funky.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's very of the time, like 1972.
Oh yeah,
It's
one of my
so sad.
first
This whole
notes.
thing, yeah.
One of my first notes was like this really reminds me of like He-Man,
yeah.
like,
Yes!
original He-Man,
Oh my
like,
god.
that
yeah.
kind of
I was
animation
trying to
stuff.
think of what it reminded me of, and that's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, Scooby Doo as well.
Yeah.
Early Scooby Doo,
Yeah.
the animation.
The animation
Yeah.
is very Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, not much.
Not
movement.
a lot else.
And, like,
is
not
like
like-
Scooby-Doo.
not
But
much
it's just the
like,
animation.
Yeah, the rest of it. Yeah.
Background details, like it's just kind of
But there's some
plain
cool,
background.
like,
Yeah.
I'd say the animation's better than Scooby Doo.
Yeah.
There's some interesting
Like,
artistic
how they like
Makes me
walk
feel
and run
weird.
and stuff is definitely
and
better
some
than
weird
Scooby-Doo.
like sequences that we'll kind of
It's
get
very,
to as we move
very
on.
weird stuff.
But yeah, so the intro kind of outlines that kind of plot of
Yeah,
him
it
being
kind of
the-
describes who he is. It like explains his powers.
Yeah, there's a whole list. We'll probably go through them at the end, maybe.
Yeah, like his
See what our
Dabiru
favourite-
wings and his Dabiru cuts.
Wow, you
Yeah.
really love this intro.
Oh, I joke when I
Lewis has had it on his way to work.
He's
Yeah.
just listening to it.
When I realised that,
man.
I saw it actually before I was looking it up that Devilman in Japanese is Dabiru man,
Yeah.
and I was like, it's just quite fun to say Dabiru man.
Yeah.
Dabiru
And then when
man.
the intro came on, he was
Good.
like Dabiru man. I was like, this is brilliant.
This is great.
Yeah.
So it starts off. There's a bit of a voiceover, and it says about being in a winter's day.
Yeah.
And there's a boy who's sad. Who they give his full name, but they say he's called Tare or
Tare, yeah.
Tare.
And he's sad because
He's been punished at school. He did something.
his friend, who's like kind of his little girlfriend, they're
Yeah.
very small. We don't know how old do you think he's supposed to be? Like
I
8 or
think,
something?
yeah, like
Yeah.
7.
They
that
look
seems
really
accurate.
tiny. They're like
They're really,
baby
really
size.
small.
But
probably like
yeah,
6 or
his
7.
girlfriend was off sick, so she wasn't in school, and for some reason he got in trouble.
Yeah.
And then he like was mopping the floor, and then he spilled the bucket.
yeah,
or
and gets
something.
like beaten by the teacher.
yeah, that kid gets beeten up so much.
He's,
Yeah,
just
he
he's
does.
just a sad kid.
It's really sad.
I've literally written down at the start, sad kid.
yeah,
Yeah.
boy is sad. I've got.
And one of my first notes actually is that I went into this thinking like anime. And I was like, the art style doesn't at all seem like what you think of when you think anime. Like the huge
Yeah,
eyes
in
and
a
the
way,
spiky
yeah.
hair.
It's kind of pre that.
It's
I think.
like pre-modern anime.
Yeah.
I just read one of my notes at the beginning. It just says, "This kid is sad. Why is he sitting in a dump?"
Well, yeah, that's
Yeah.
the next bit. So he's in like a junkyard, isn't
He's
he?
just
Yeah,
sitting in
although
a
apparently
rubbish
it's not a
tip.
junkyard,
Oh, because when they dump,
but it looks like a junkyard.
it's just like a bit of a wasteland.
Yeah, so he sees like a truck pulling up, and he's like, "Oh, there's naked ladies on the truck." And then he gets
He can't
closer,
be that young.
and they're mannequins from like a shop,
yeah.
and there's two men like unloading them in the junkyard. But he's like, "This isn't a junkyard. Why are they dumping the mannequins?"
Yeah, and then it does.
Oh,
like,
so it's not a junk. What is it?
no, it's just I don't know, just like
Yeah.
the countryside or like
Yeah,
a
and he's
weird-
like, "It's not responsible to dump your rubbish
There's
here."
a bit of environmental news there.
Yeah, well, you
Spreading
can't
positivity.
forget that the world is dying, Sam.
Yeah, and that was in 1972. So how fucked is it now?
It's nearly been 50 years and the world's still
50
dying.
years.
Yeah,
That's
and
more
also,
existential dread for everyone there.
well, this is kind of like it's a pretty dark show, to be honest.
Oh.
This
It
filled
gets
me with
re-
dread.
It gets
The whole
really
time.
dark. But yeah, and then he also says he did badly on his test. I think he got like 10% or something.
Yeah.
He said his mum's going to be mad at him, and he's like, "Oh, I can see why little boys want to run away," which is kind of foreshadowing for later,
Yeah,
isn't it?
a bit.
I didn't think about.
Yeah, it's a bit spooky.
Ooh.
Appropriately spooky.
It's almost if that's why we watched it.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, then there's the old mannequins. Yeah, and what happens? He
So-
goes over to one of them. When,
Yeah,
when
they
yeah.
move. And it immediately made you think of the Doctor Who episode, the first one of the reboot in 2005 with Rose.
It's very specific there.
Wait, what?
The first episode of Doctor Who when it came back in 2005, because it has the Autons,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
are the mannequins that move.
Oh
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
god! I
And-
think I've
and
watched
there's-
that one a few times because I always
Well, it was
want
the
to
first
start
one,
Doctor Who
wasn't
again,
it?
and I never do.
Yeah,
It's
and that's
when
with
Rose is
with-
introduced.
There's like a
Yeah.
bin that like eats Mickey.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
No,
And then there's
Doctor
like a
Who
weird-
was fucking
There's like a
shit.
plastic
This
plastic.
dog was fucking great.
No, Doctor Who was great, but it was fucking shit at the same
I was
time.
gonna say there was a plastic Mickey, but that sounds like something. He's like a
But,
weird
yeah,
dummy,
he
and
becomes
and he's
an
like,
auto.
he's like,
Yeah, I remember this. I didn't really like Rose in general. to
Oh
be fair.
no, I love Rose.
I bet Lewis loved her.
Yeah, so
Sorry, I
so
keep going
Taro
off
when he
topic.
sees the moves, he gets scared and pisses himself.
Well, one of them tries to grab. One of them grabs him in the arm.
Yeah.
and then he pisses himself like massively.
And it's like he's literally sitting in like
it's
a
like
big
steaming. Like off
Yeah.
it.
That bit when they come to life is so like haunting. They like lean over him.
Yeah,
and,
and, like,
zoom
weird
over him.
puddle. You suddenly turn and they're all looking like at
Yeah,
Taro.
it's actually really
It's
creepy.
very like something from a modern horror film. In
I
some
wrote
way.
down
Yeah.
terrifying in capital letters.
Yeah, it's pretty creepy.
So he wets himself and passes out. And
Yeah.
then he wakes up.
As you do.
As you do.
He went. Akira, his
Yeah.
brother, and Miki, his sister, have
Yes.
found him. And Akira,
Mickey, like
yeah,
Doctor Who.
Oh.
Oh my god, it all ties together.
yeah. Akira decides who is our title character.
Yes.
He decides the best way to wake up his younger brother is to punch him in the face.
Yes, he starts smacking him around the face.
And Mickey's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, don't hit him so hard." He's like, "It woke him up, didn't it?" And then whacks him
Slapping
again.
And then the girl,
8-year-old.
what does she have a go at him? And then she fucking smacks Akira.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she just slaps the guy who slaps him, and then he's
Yeah.
like, "It worked, didn't it?" And then when the kid woke up, he's just slapped him again.
Yeah,
even though he was awake.
yeah, and then Taro's like, "Oh, the mannequins were moving,"
Yeah.
like, and they're like, "No, they're not. They're
And
mannequins."
he's still got like piss all over him.
Which I think is
Yeah.
reasonable. If a kid starts talking about
yeah.
how
If you're like
mannequins are
8-year-old
moving.
kids, is
yeah,
like,
and then whilst they're like talking to him, he sees them move again behind them,
yeah,
and he pisses himself again.
yeah. And I've written fresh steaming piss.
Yeah,
Poor
I
kid,
would have thought he
honestly.
emptied himself out first time round.
He's having a
but-
bad time.
Well, he's
He
had
really
time to
is.
process a bit more while he's been asleep. you
Yeah,
know?
and he's
So-
pissed
Very
himself
hydrated.
again. Yeah, and Akira and Miki, I just don't believe his bullshit. 'Cause they're mannequins.
So what? Yeah, this next bit, he then goes, "Oh, I made it up. I made it up." What? Do you remember?
I think it's because like he doesn't want to get hit by Akira again, so he's
Oh
like,
god,
it's so sad.
it's so sad.
he's a sad boy.
He's a really sad boy, yeah. And actually, this episode is more focused around him
Yeah,
than
than
Akira,
Akira.
isn't it? Which we found surprising when we watched it, Amy, didn't we? I remember being like,
yeah.
why is the main
I
guy
mean-
not in it like at all?
I didn't. When you saw his brother,
Yeah,
is
yeah.
it his brother?
Akira.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Akira.
I think in the Crybaby one, Devilman Crybaby, Akira moves in with his friend Miki, who has a younger brother. Because
Right.
I think they're like love interests. The
Are
two
they?
older kids.
Weird.
So it's like I think that might be the case in this as well, but we don't know from this episode.
I assume though, because Miki's definitely his sister. I thought Akira was his brother.
We don't know that sister because
I thought it was girlfriend and
Tara
boyfriend.
and Miki are definitely brother and sister,
Yeah.
but we don't know the relationship of the older.
Oh,
two.
okay.
But it might be different in Devilman Crybaby. But yeah,
Yeah.
Amy, you were saying,
Yeah.
I can't remember what I was going to say.
You thought it was weird or something, but yeah,
Yeah, I can't remember.
don't worry.
So anyway, it then cuts to they're back at home and Tari's asleep and he still stinks.
Do we know he still stinks?
Well, you see stink lines.
Okay.
I know, and I think he even says like, "Oh, it's stinky."
Aw.
And I was like,
he's like a
So
neglected
sad.
child.
yeah, he's like fucking Oliver Twist.
You don't see the parents until like
Later
little-
on,
You never see the parents, do you?
You do.
Yeah.
His dad's the one with the big moustache.
they drive them to the other house later on.
Oh, yeah, and you see them at the end as well, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, he like hugs them.
Yeah. When Akira first came on,
yeah.
did you know
That he was
who he
Devilman.
was supposed to be?
Yeah, it's in
Devilman.
in the intro. Is that why you went?
He's-
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
when we
because
watched
I
the
was
thing.
like, we were like halfway through the episode, and I was like, when is Devilman going to come into this?
Literally
Like,
in the
what is
introduction,
happening?
it says, "This is Akira. He's Devilman."
I know, I don't know. I just missed
No,
that.
Pretty much.
And then I was like,
It has
this is
him
called
in it,
Devilman,
yeah.
and Devilman's not even on it. Like, what is going on?
Yeah, it was a.
And
It
was-
did take a while for Devilman.
It was a
at
special-
this point, I wrote, couldn't have picked Blair Witch for me to be on.
Well, Blair Witch might be in a future episode.
Yeah, maybe.
Or maybe.
Maybe.
You basically say.
Or something.
To be
like
fair,
that.
Amy was like, "Why did you choose this for me to be on?" While we were
Oh no, I
watching?"
was well happy with this. Maybe not
It
for
was a
you,
very
but-
random choice because, unlike how what I said
But
before,
anyway,
I don't really watch anime that much.
No.
Yeah.
Amy's
But,
not,
you know-
not the number one anime fan. She's only secondhand watch stuff with me.
That
really,
you
haven't
watch
you?
and then
Yeah.
normally go out and do washing up and stuff.
She's very good like that.
Anyway, whilst Tara is like sleeping, he kind of daydreams. It's kind of like a dream, half like a daydream.
Yeah, this is the one.
about the mannequins, and it's really creepy.
It's like pink elephants from Dumbo. You know, like a weird, like trippy dream sequence.
Or
thing.
Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah, all that.
yeah, all like that.
But yeah, the sky's like red, and they're all like walking towards.
Yeah, it's really
Yeah.
strange.
It's really creepy. And
Red
then
It's like a
Nice.
fever dream. is
oh,
what I
and then
wrote.
he
Yeah.
pisses himself again.
yeah. He
For-
does. yeah.
I literally so like
He's-
as I was as I started watching, Christina went and did something,
Yeah.
and she came back, and I paused it. I was like, Christina, I'm 7 minutes into this episode, and this kid's pissed himself 3 times.
Yeah.
And you don't see him drink anything once.
He
No.
says,
Where's all it coming from?
he says something really weird about they don't know that they have beating hearts with flowing with blood or something like that. About the
Yeah.
fact they're alive. I think that's the translation thing. But
Yeah.
and there's like just to go back to that sequence, there's like weird funky music playing while they're walking.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they've
it's,
got,
it's
like,
almost
weird
like
scarred faces.
It's
what's
very-
the Disney thing? The Mickey Mouse thing.
Oh, Fantasia.
Fantasia. It's almost like
yeah,
a
yeah.
Fantasia
It's very
sequence.
like repetitive and like
Yeah.
it's
Almost
Yeah.
like some of the music
Very
gets a bit-
70s.
Yeah, very
Like-
much.
I wrote maddening.
Yeah.
Maddening.
This
Ooh.
music is maddening.
Someone had a thesaurus next to them.
This is when I've written I thought Devilman was the main character because he's
I think
Yeah,
it's
he's not
just
in
this
it.
episode
Yeah,
is just focused
yeah.
on
And then this is a really
Sorry.
weird dark bit. So
Yeah.
his
Yeah.
door is someone struggling to open it. So this is after
and
he's
you
had
see
the-
like you see
Yeah.
like the
The
door
dream.
handle turning.
yeah, and he's had the weird like dream vision of
Yeah.
the mannequins approaching the streets. And then what does he pick up?
So he goes.
Something
The
from
story
his-
he goes to his side, and I think he ends up picking up a hammer.
It's something from like a stationery. Or
Yeah.
like a
Because
shelf
every
or
kid has a
something.
hammer in
And-
their bedroom.
And the door opens, and he throws the hammer.
Just at this like silhouette.
So he's
Silhouette,
assuming it's
yeah.
going to be the mannequin.
Yeah.
And then collapsed to the floor is his sister. With
And there's
like,
just blood everywhere.
coming out
So
his
much
head.
blood coming off of her head.
And he's just like,
And like it's not even like dealt with for a second. It's just like I've killed my sister.
Yeah.
And then
And I thought she was gonna like wake up or be like, oh, like what
he's
happened?
like, he just goes, I've killed
my sister. And I was like, oh, like, okay.
Yeah.
I guess he's killed his sister.
Oh man.
Yeah, I was just like, oh shit, I wasn't expecting like someone to die like
No.
this early on the episode. I literally wrote down, knocks her out. Dead? Question mark. And it's like,
And
yeah,
the kid is
she's
so,
dead.
he looks so young. He
Like-
literally looks like a toddler.
Yeah,
Like, so
yeah.
it's just so
Because
like jarring.
the slightly older kids are almost like adult size.
Yeah, it's like that.
So
It's like classic animation where like 8-year-olds are half the height of like 15-year-olds.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like South Park does it as well. Simpsons
it's,
does
it's
it.
very
Yeah.
much like South Park, where they're like almost like they're like more stylized than the
Yeah.
older characters. And this is where we find out that I thought they were all siblings because they all live in the same house, but I think
Yeah.
maybe it's a kind of step sibling situation. But
Step sibling.
well, I mean, if those two are going,
Yeah.
And Akira wakes up and he goes out of his room and he sees that Tare's door's open.
Yeah.
And he goes in, and then we don't see what's in the room. We just see that no one's there.
Yeah, he opens the door, looks around and can't see anything. So he then goes and knocks on Mickey's door.
Yeah.
And she opens it and
And
it's
we're
like,
like, phew.
whoa,
right.
whoa.
And then they go back in. They find a dummy with a smashed head.
Yeah.
And a note saying that he's killed his sister and he's running away.
And you're like, whoa, whoa.
Yeah. It's my
And,
new catchphrase.
I love it.
Oh, it would have been great for Project Gutenberg a couple of weeks ago with all those twists at the end.
Whoa, whoa,
Oh,
whoa.
whoa, whoa, whoa.
And then Akira just like strips off his clothes and then puts different clothes on and
No,
jumps out the
yeah.
window.
He jumps
then
out the window, doesn't go out the door.
Yeah.
He jumps out like a first floor window.
What does he do?
But it's clear that the dummy has posed as a human.
Yes. So So
And
He
convinced
was-
the kid that it was his
There's
sister when
some
actually
sort
it was a
of-
dummy.
Yeah.
hypnosis, mind control.
So-
And
And
then he
so-
jumps out the window.
Tare's
with
basically run away because he feels guilty about killing his sister.
But his sister's
Not dead. So
yeah.
Akira, he's literally running through the street and the load of mannequins appear and he's just like punching them and kicking them
he's
as he
just
runs down
smashing-
the street.
And this has got a weird like bassoon or something. It's like
Yeah, the music carries on, the maddening music carries
The
on all the
maddening
way through
Yeah,
this.
and he's just smashing. He's fucking smashing stuff.
He's just
It's
fucking smashing
he's
shit.
smashing
up.
it.
And slowly like more and more appear and he just keeps like punching through them.
It's not clear where or how.
No, we don't really get. We get a bit of.
There's no
without
closure on this. I don't
skipping
think.
it. Well, we kind of get a bit of thing with the demon.
Unless it went over my head. I
to
don't
go,
know.
Yeah.
a little bit. But it's very like brushed over the.
Well, we
the
then-
process.
This is-
we then
the
see like a
specifics.
noise coming through the clouds and like lines
Yeah,
coming down.
yeah.
And Akira's like, oh, it must be up there. And then we
But no,
get
I think at that point he goes, "Oh, of course, it's a demon."
Yeah.
he kind of has that because I think throughout this he fights a different demon each week. So
Yeah.
he's suddenly realised that because something's going on, it must be a demon.
Which
And he's
makes
like-
me question why he immediately was like, "No, you're being stupid." When he says that the
because
mannequins
Yeah.
are
it's the
moving.
little kid like.
Because if he lives in a world with demons where weird shit happens all the time, surely
Yeah.
But
he'd
he's
be
probably,
like, okay, the mannequins are moving.
he's probably used to fighting demons himself. He doesn't think like his
And-
brother's gonna be
Yeah,
the person that bumps
true.
into
Yeah, I
the
mean,
demon.
in the opening and the closing credits, he's like up on snowy mountains. Like, I
Yeah.
think he goes all over the place.
This is probably a
normally.
very like at home episode.
Yeah, and maybe
yeah,
his
I would
brother.
like to watch some other episodes. To see
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
Well,
comparative
we
thing.
talked
We should
about
have probably
doing a
done that.
couple, but it's just we're being
But they don't have project in the title.
yeah, exactly. We're being
That-
quite
the most
strict about
important,
it.
The most important aspect of any piece of media that's ever existed. Does it have project in the
Yeah,
title?
absolutely. But yeah, maybe in other episodes, maybe Tare is like the annoying younger brother who like,
Yeah.
does pranks and like fibs about stuff.
Yeah,
I'm saying
that's true,
fibbing
yeah.
in Gutenberg a lot. I listened back. to
I
the
noticed.
episodes,
I noticed it at the time
Maybe
actually,
it's
and I
a
was like,
translation thing.
No, I was saying fibbing.
Oh,
a
you
lot
said
in the
fib.
episode.
Yeah, I thought that. I thought
I
it was
just
strange.
thought,
I don't think
yeah.
I've ever heard you say
I
fib.
thought it when we were recording. I was like, maybe
I thought
that's
it
a
was-
choice
I
words,
just thought
but
it was-
it's not wrong, so I'm not going to correct
Fibbing.
you.
It's a good word. It's like
It works
it's
better
less
for Tare
intense
because he's
than
a little
lying.
kid. Fibbing.
Yeah.
He's a fibbing kid.
But
don't
yeah,
know.
anyway, after seeing the noise and realizing it's a demon, Akira turns into Devilman.
And I was like, oh my god, he was Devilman the whole time?
Whoa.
Whoa.
It reminds me of when me and Christina first watched the 2014 Godzilla, And she didn't really know anything
And
about
she went,
Godzilla.
what? That's Godzilla the whole time? And Bryan Cranston turned into Godzilla.
But you know when they have the Muto and they've got like all the base around the Muto, and then it like wakes up and causes the first destruction.
Oh, yeah,
I don't remember.
When it like climbs out, Christina's like, "Is that Godzilla?" And I was like,
It's like a
no,
bug.
it's
It
like
looks
a bug.
I think that's happened a lot with me, where I've thought stuff was a twist, and Sam has been like, "Well, yeah, obviously." Like, oh my god!
Yeah, me and Christina watched Kong Skull Island, and she didn't realize like Skull Island was a magical place. She just thought it was a normal island with a big ape on it.
Big monkey.
Not a monkey though; he's an
Big
ape.
yeah, I thought you were going to say big monkey.
Big monkey.
I'm not down with the kids.
Monkey.
Yeah, so he's become Devilman, and he immediately uses his first power and
Yeah.
goes, the Birrell Wing.
Yeah. And it's
What
like
is that? Because you
Devil
keep
Wing.
saying that.
Devil Wing.
Oh, Debiro Wing.
Yeah, Devil
Wing.
Wing.
Yeah.
And it's just like a big gliding. It's like Batman of the future. Batman.
It
Beyond.
kind of looks like animated series Batman.
Oh yeah, we didn't go over what he looks like. So what does he look like, Amy? Devilman. But you on the spot.
Has he got purple wings?
No, he's got red wings.
Red
A
wings.
blue face?
He's got
a
a blue
red,
face.
He's kind of like
hat?
turquoisey colour. It's like
Yeah.
He's got a red
teal.
hat and
I don't know who
Did
Amy's
Did you say
describing.
red hat?
he's got a red hat and purple wings and a blue
And he-
Did
face.
you watch this?
And he rides on a sleigh. And he has a big
No, and
jolly
he's got like
beard.
fangs. He looks like a Dracula, like a.
It's a very weird description. Lewis, what did you think he looked like?
Like it's kind of like I said, kind of the style of like that animated series Batman. Like,
yeah, that's what I.
like his wings kind of come out like that unless they go out. But he's blue, very pointed
Yeah.
face, got some horns.
Yeah, he's
yeah,
got kind of
yeah.
a weird.
And he's got it almost looks like he's got a mask on because he's got
Yeah.
black bits that come down his cheeks, but a blue like jawline.
weird bluey.
The wings
greeny.
remind me of those wingsuits that people wear.
Yeah, it's a bit
Yeah.
like
in
that.
like was it in Falcon and the Winter Soldier where they wear those?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Falcon
Yeah.
does have wings.
He at this
Oh,
point as
someone
well,
else-
we get the Devilman
Shut up.
theme
Yeah,
played on like a flute. I think there's lots of different
Yeah.
versions of stuff. It's like a very like piercing like.
yeah.
And
And
then he flies up in the clouds, and then the demon's gone.
Yeah, there's
He was
nothing
too
there.
late. He was too late.
And he's
Yeah.
like, "Damn you!"
I liked how they made the how he could tell that there was a demon in the clouds.
So
just
was
by,
that
like, a
what
few,
that
like,
light? Yeah,
lines.
is that what it was supposed to be?
Although
then?
no, I think it's revealed later on what those lines are more.
Yeah.
We'll get to it when it gets to it because we'll get to it when it gets to it.
I'm trying to.
Um, But yeah,
Tare.
then
has gone
we
to see-
cut. Yeah, we get introduced to Mio, who's Tare's friend, who's also like a little girl.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, he's
yeah.
not
And
a
also, also little, but a girl.
She's
Also
a little girl.
but a girl.
She's little, but she's
And
a
basically, like, she's heard a noise, and Tare's like broke into her house, or
He's
like
waiting
just
outside the house. Yeah.
And she's like, "Come in." He's like, "No." And it's like, "Why the
Like,
fuck
why
did you
did
go
you-
there then, Tare?"
And she's like sick. She keeps coughing because she was off school. Just
Yeah,
one
I
from
like the
start.
fact that like we had an episode where like a character is ill,
Yeah.
but it doesn't come back. Like
Oh, it's not
whenever you
part
watch
of
any
the-
films on
yeah,
TV,
yeah.
if someone's ill, it means they're gonna die soon.
Yeah,
or
true.
or like they'll use the sickness
Yeah.
to defeat the.
When does anyone
the-
have a cold in a TV series and it's just like a cold?
I mean, the only thing that it did plot wise was he had a bad day, and because she wasn't there.
Yeah.
So I
But,
guess
like,
it kind of set things in motion. But yeah.
Or like in Friends when it gives Phoebe a sexy singing voice.
Oh
Yeah.
That's very that's true. Lewis loves Friends. You know that.
I love Friends.
Anyone who listens to the podcast knows.
Oh yeah, we talked about it quite early on.
I watch it every morning.
I the only reason I bring that up is because I was quite surprised. I feel like I didn't know that you liked Friends that much until
Really?
we were talking about it. Then.
Yeah,
Friends, I'm sure we've talked about Friends before.
Yeah, I don't really like Friends that much though.
You've been watching Friends.
Yeah, but that's only because
Amy
I've
watches
been watching Friends.
I don't watch Friends.
Oh, okay.
Anyway. But yeah, so she also
Oh,
slaps
okay.
him
Yeah,
because
yeah,
he
that's the next
says
one I've got.
he says that he's
Oh,
leaving,
yeah.
and I think does he actually admit that he thinks he's killed her at that point?
Oh yeah, I wrote this kid has
no.
been slapped so many times.
Yeah, because we never see him admit it, but she knows. 'cause
It
later
kind of
on
cuts
she
to a
explains
later
it.
bit, yeah. And then we've got the parents of the 2 or 3 kids, depending on if Akira's related. And they're just like barely characters. They're just there.
Yeah.
And there's a really weird bit where they're getting told that he's missing by Akira and what's she called? Miki.
No.
Mickey.
Yeah.
And then they get a phone call. The mum gets a phone call and she's like, "Oh, thank you." And she's like, "There's no reports of dead children, so that's good. They must be alive."
Or and it's like, at least he hasn't killed himself. And then another one was like,
and the
who was it that says?
It says Torre's too cowardly to commit suicide.
And it's like, fuck. And then I was thinking about like the Japanese suicide forest and like how, like even like Harry Curry, the ritual suicide,
Seppuku.
Like it's Seppuku.
Who's Harry Curry?
And like there's
he works down the old Indian shop over there.
There's also like the stories of Japanese people who work so hard.
Well, that's what happens with the suicide forest. It's quite ingrained in the culture, so I suppose it makes sense.
There's
that was very strange. That whole attitude. It was like like. At least he isn't dead. I'm so glad that there's no reports of dead children.
Totally, yeah, and it's it makes sense because of where it goes in this. It's a bit of a turn of.
I wrote such a weird attitude.
Yeah. Also, at this point,
my notes are so articulate.
Akira is like constantly angry in this episode.
Yeah,
like he constantly looks angry, and he blames the demon general Muxan. Who it seems like is like his arch enemy, who's got load of like demon soldiers, and it's like it's one of General Muxan's soldiers.
Yeah. Do you know? Is there like where this episode is in like a season?
I think it's
halfway episode through. 19.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. There's 40 episodes in one season.
It's all just.
I think there's only one season.
Oh shit! I thought there was going to be like 3 seasons.
But I think so the demon Aman or whatever that's in him is like. An exile, like as it says, traitor in the opening. I think the demon has kind of changed sides.
He was part of like the demon army under General Muxan, and has
Akira is
what Akira has.
No, the demon that inhabits him, kind of thing.
Oh, I see.
So I think they kind of share. In Devilman Crybaby, I think he's in control of it pretty much.
Yeah,
but other people. When he transforms, it's a bit like a Hulk kind of situation. Like he's not really as in control when he changes.
But we go to Tare's with Mio.
Yeah, Tare and Mio.
And this one, Mio knows that Tare's
the mum.
Yeah, he's like ridiculously over top, like old Japanese woman.
She looks so fucked.
She's really like so weird animation. She looks like
maybe she's the grandma actually.
I thought she was like a nanny. Like she was the person who like looks after them.
Yeah, well, she's got like a really weird wide head and like no eyes, and she's like. And she comes with some like she come with food at that point.
Yeah,
she's got like a weird
Mio's
like rectangle forehead and like and like a really tiny chin.
But Mio decides to figure out whether or not like Tare has killed his sister.
Yeah,
she'll call like his home and ask, and like she calls and like says, can I talk to Miki?
Yeah, which I liked because I thought that was a very reasonable and rational choice.
It was quite a subtle. I thought we were going to be called up and be like, "Is Miki dead?" Maybe it's just like, "Oh, can I talk to Miki?" And because she answers, she's like, "Oh yeah, Tare's here. Like, can you come and get him?"
Yeah, it was so good. It was so easily resolved. I thought there was going to be a whole like shenanigan where she's like, where she like goes over to the parents and she's like, "Your daughter's dead," and they're like, "What?" And then she appears and they're like, "Oh my god," you know, like that kind of stupid.
But then we see Mio talking to Tare.
Yeah, so she then comes back in, and it's a very dramatic approach. She's coming past like the shutters. She comes in.
Yeah,
she looks sad, and we're like, I was thinking, why is it such a dramatic?
Yeah, I was like, she just found out that Miki's alive.
She like weirdly like floats in. She looks like she's on like a conveyor belt or something, doesn't she? She like kind of.
I think
it's
more just that she comes in a bit like weirdly mournfully kind of thing. But I don't know. Maybe she is rolling in.
Rolling in.
I also
she rolls in
just before that she's got a really annoying voice.
She's
like really shrill, this little girl.
She looks really weird as well. She looks like one of those creepy dolls with like the sewn on eyes.
like a
weird Cabbage
like
Patch
the one
Kid
from the films.
Oh
what
yeah,
the films called?
Annabelle.
Yeah, a bit like that.
Annie.
Annie, that film Annie about the doll.
Because you're friends with her. Yeah, Mio comes in and we're like, oh, she's going to tell Tari that he didn't kill his sister.
Was that a ginger joke?
What?
Why am I
Who's friends with Annie?
Because you called her Annie.
Oh, right. I thought you were being like me, I'm ginger and she's ginger.
You're reading into stuff that's not there. Just like you're so comfortable with her that you must be friends with her.
We're talking about Annie the musical with the little girl that sings.
Yeah, I hadn't even thought about that.
Right, anyway, carry on.
So Mio comes in. We think she's going to be like, oh, Tari's alive. But she comes in and was like, Miki's dead. You'll have to die.
Yeah,
and I literally was like, weird. What the fuck?
She says, you've got to die too. And then we get loads of flashes of suicide. There's like one where he's like hanging, one where he's jumping in front of something, one
jumping off a bridge into like a river.
Yeah,
there's a third
you get like full images of this like 7-year-old boy or like a young child,
he's at
like,
least like
with a noose like around his neck. Like, 10. What the fuck?
It was proper like,
so
this
strange.
is so fucking weird. And like, it's also the twist on the fact that we thought she was just going to say she's alive. It's like,
it was good.
It's like, no, you've got to kill yourself.
What did she say? Like, oh, like, to like, I don't know, like atone for your.
I think
she
she kind of just says you've got to die.
But she's also like, oh, don't worry, I won't let you do it on your own. I'll do it with
I'll
you.
do it with you. Yeah, which like, makes it weird as well.
And then I've got, this is so dark, the tiny kids are going to kill themselves together.
Yeah, like, what the fuck? You'd never see that on like a kids show these days.
Or even in the 70s in like the US, I don't think
It's thinking like Scooby doing stuff where like all the monsters that aren't even real monsters.
Yeah. And then this is like, it's a real demon and the kids are going to kill themselves. Forcing a child to commit suicide.
Yeah, that's...
and then the parents and the other two turn up, don't they?
Yeah, and I've written again, like Akira is constantly angry.
Oh yeah, in the next bit I've got Akira's fuming because he realises that they're not there and he's just practically like, oh, he's like,
wait, do that face again, Sam. Yeah, God, you guys wish you could see the face Sam just pulled. I thought he was going to shit himself.
Yeah, that's kind of, it's like a Dragon Ball kind of,
actually, a couple of people in this were in Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, were they?
Oh.
Cool. Makes sense. That's
which one is Dragon Ball
10
Z?
or so years
Have you
old.
watched
like
that?
20 years later. It's the like late 90s, early 2000s.
Oh, I think
is that the guy
Dragon
with the
Ball was 80s.
Oh yeah,
maybe,
no, Dragon Ball Z
was 90. I think, I'm not sure. Yeah, the one where they go Super Saiyan and their hair goes yellow. And but they're most like shouting shouting.
Oh my God! Because I walk in and out of when Sam's watching anime, and every single time I walk into the living room, it just seems to be like some crazy.
I don't even watch that much animation.
No, like Sam actually like watches anime like roughly 7 hours a day.
Yeah,
no, roughly 7 episodes a month.
But it's just some like intense monologue.
More than anybody else.
Where someone's like crying and being like, I had to do this.
In like super sexual stuff.
Yeah. And I'm like, what are you watching?
And like, it's fine that like
Amy's like, I'll watch it too.
In the living room? God.
It's fine that this girl has been sexualized even though she looks 12 years old because she's actually 5,000 years old. So like, it doesn't matter.
It's not. Luckily, I haven't seen anything too much like that. But like
luckily,
like people barely covered up, like ooh, and then like
oh no,
there's a weird situation where their clothes.
I've grown into a giant, and now my dress has been torn off.
I think it's the complete opposite.
I think you've been watching hentai, not anime.
Yeah, and there's a fine line with some of these and some of these are on Netflix. They're all on Netflix. I don't seek them out on specialist websites.
Oh yeah,
that's not true.
Not very often. Anyway.
Netflix is what he calls Pornhub.
yeah, sure. So anyway, we've got this weird, there's another weird music where it's like a weird bell ringing when Akira's like fuming, and he, I think, runs off after where he thinks they are.
Blaming the demon as he sprints down the road.
Yeah, and it's like it's like a weird like hypnotic code.
Yeah.
What bit is this?
Akira's running to where I don't know how he knows where they are, but does he see the stuff coming down from the sky?
Maybe. So like after they've turned up at Mio's house and Tare's run away again.
Oh, because she says says, oh, he's gone. Did he leave another note?
I don't think so. I think he just went this time.
Maybe.
He just fucked off.
Yeah.
Fucked off to the train station.
As long as with his like eternal pierce, he's got eternal pens and paper.
He just creates stuff out of his body, clearly. Yeah, and then we see Mio is with Tare on the roof of what turns out to be a train station.
Yeah, you can kind of tell it's a train station. I don't know how they've got up there, to be honest.
No, and then smart little boy, notices she hasn't been coughing since they left.
Yeah.
And he's like, you haven't been coughing.
And I was like, she's a mannequin, isn't she?
Yeah, and then they're about to like jump onto the tracks, and then he notices her shadow is a mannequin shadow,
which is quite a cool
that
thing.
That was creepy.
They can transform, but their shadows stay the same.
Yeah,
because it's like in different... Is it? Yeah. Would it be just in his like mind?
I think
so if someone else, so is that
if
why Akira saw them together, does he see the mannequin?
No, because he does see Mio. Because when he turns up, he goes, "Mio's there, but she's at home." So it's a visual thing, but just not for
shadows. Yeah, but which is quite cool.
When Amy, you were saying about the,
it would be even cooler if it was just for the one person and everyone else sees a mannequin. I think
with the silhouette thing, when she was coming past the shutters, does she have a mannequin silhouette at that
That's
point?
what I wondered. I didn't go back to it, quite possibly.
Maybe.
There was something a bit off about it, but I don't remember the size suddenly changing. But anyway, she then changes back into a mannequin once.
Yeah. And they're like,
oh no, we get the Devilman transformation, and we get sinister.
We get Devilman.
Sinister kazoo music playing. It's another instrument that's just very strange.
It's just
for the scene.
It's literally the whole.
I mean,
thing.
I love it, but it's just like it's baffling choices.
When Tare finds out that Mio's a mannequin, Mio then transforms back into mannequin, and it's like the creepiest face on the mannequin.
She's got like long hair, which the other ones didn't really have any.
But like the face is just like it literally goes into your soul.
Yeah, they do lots of weird perspective stuff when it's from Tare's perspective. Where, like at the start when they grab him, it's kind of like as if it's like a big thing grabbing a small boy. Do you know what I mean? It's like weird, like fisheye kind of thing.
But so Tare and the mannequin start like wrestling on the roof of the train station.
Wrestling.
Well, they are wrestling.
Yeah.
They start doing shoulder taps. I was thinking more about WWE. Amy's thinking of a different kind of.
No, I think more
and
with
they go
Amy.
into a paddling pool of jelly.
Oh, maybe not that. That's not what I was thinking.
She went, woo!
I was thinking just, wrestling, like normal wrestling.
They're fighting, basically.
You two are the weird ones. But like you can hear a train come in. It's like and like they're really close to the edge, and then the shot like goes to like under the train,
and we just
the train comes across, and when you're not entirely sure which one of them's fallen,
you see the debris of a dummy after a couple of seconds. But you don't see if he fell down as well. I think.
I wouldn't have been surprised if they had just shown like a kid get hit by a train.
His eyeballs are like popping out. His skull's just like sheared in
just
half.
Like I'm ready for anything at this point.
So
especially wrestling.
Especially
then it's seen that Tare is alive. He's on like the roof of the thing, and it's just like
and there's still like bits of
the mannequin, but not like the head and an arm.
So Devilman like flew past and pushed it in.
No, I think Tare pushed, because
I wasn't really sure about
Devilman goes up to the clouds, and we see the demon, which is another like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that demon
because it only flashes up not that long, and I had to go back and pause it.
I'm just gonna get the picture.
I was like, I want to have a proper look at this.
It's really cool.
It's basically
the design is
it's
so
like
strange.
a spider, but only with like 4 legs. And out of the back is growing a person.
Yeah.
Like the top half of a person.
But without a head on the top.
But the face. What's the face?
No. Oh, yeah, there's a weird little head. So
so
it's like a white body of the spider and of the person on the top.
Yeah.
But then there's a black spider's head on the spider's body.
Yeah.
And then
it's like a weird hybrid of a person.
And a weird little bug man head on the top of the man body. Like a centaur. But a spider centaur, but there's a spider's head as well as a human.
It comes out like the middle of the back of the spider.
I would turn this around for you, Amy, but we've got cables everywhere.
Oh, right.
But you did see it before.
And the demon talks through the person on the back of
and the colours, it's like a Siberian tiger. It's like white
and like black stripes.
But with like weird stripes.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just showing Amy a picture. So
it's really cool.
You can't really see the head that well.
This is what I mean. Like this whole episode,
like their head's at a weird angle there.
Yeah,
but it has got like a weird bug. Like it almost like it's like a superhero.
It's
at the
a
top.
fever dream.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah,
some
it really
kind of
is.
weird.
So
it
weird.
makes me so uncomfortable.
Actually, I'm on the Wikipedia now. Shall I read out a little bit about Adal quickly?
Yeah, so this spider person is Adal.
The puppet project or the puppet master.
Oh, it's the actual demon
the dummy
called Adal.
project, I suppose.
The dummy project, yeah.
Yeah. The demon is called Adal.
Called
it says on
Which
here,
is that spider.
Adal was a large puppeteering spider-like demon who was controlling various people across Japan, right? So we get this reveal a bit later.
Yeah.
Most of whom were high-ranking officials. He was the primary antagonist of the 19th episode of the anime. Adal was a massive grey spider-like demon. His lower body resembled a massive spider with black head, 4 legs and covered in orange stripes. He had 2 long arms and blank white eyes, a pair of mandibles and antenna. So pretty much.
He's basically a Spider-Man.
Yes. And we find out...
He looks very proud of himself.
He's very proud of himself there.
I definitely just thought of that. I've been thinking of that since last night.
Basically...
We find out that...
You wake up at 3 a.m. He's a Spider-Man.
We find out that he's using spider webs to control
which
the
I mean, those white
lines,
those lines could be like the controlling powers, because it also kind of looks like webbing.
Oh, so the mannequins were being able to move.
They're the puppets of.
Oh, that's quite cool.
But it doesn't really explain why people can see them as people.
No.
Maybe the webs give them like an appearance.
Yeah.
But also he's creating the dummies as well.
Yeah.
Because we find out later they kind
Is it a he? I wasn't sure.
I
doesn't really
I think
matter.
it's a genderless thing, so yeah. Okay.
They.
Well, it's a demon. It's
a weird bug creature.
But yeah, so Devilman finds Adal, and Adal like flies off, and I was like, it's kind of weird that this Spider-Man can fly.
Yeah, and kind of gets Devilman in like a web kind of thing.
Yeah,
and there's like this more funky music kind of playing while Devilman's
I wish we could like somehow
dragged
play
around.
the music.
I know, it'd be great to
it's so like
haunting
in such a weird way.
So Devilman gets like caught up in the web, but then he goes Devil Wing, and the wing like cuts out.
I think it's Devil Cutter this time.
No, he does the wing.
Oh, you're right. Yes,
to cut out.
No,
actually.
As
Lewis is the real
expert.
anime fan over
he uses the wing to cut out of the thing and then goes the barrel cutter.
Yeah, and then just like obliterates
it like beheads.
It was very easy.
And and the body as well. Like
just gets, but you see like the head then like roll with like blood.
It was quite easy to kill.
Oh yeah,
It's not the big boss, is it? It's just one of the demons.
From what we see of the next week's episodes,
which we see a lot of.
There seems to be actual fighting involved in that episode.
Yeah.
So I think we've got
we've got a Tare focused episode
with very little fighting. Probably a lower budget episode, maybe. You know how they put animation budget, they would distribute it across.
Oh, I thought of something that we didn't actually cover.
Yeah, go for it.
Sorry, I keep looking away. I don't know how it's... I'm not used to this. I thought the friendship was quite cute.
Oh,
the
two little
cute.
ones.
I kind of hated the beginning, and I was like, oh no. And then then he went to her house, the little kid, and she was like being nice, and then they were like they were like under a cover,
like genuinely together, like cute friends,
and like she like hid him from her mum.
Oh yeah, we didn't talk about that, did we?
It was quite cute, and her mum came in, and she was like, "Are you okay?" And she's like, "Yeah." And then
there's like
Tare like sneezes or whatever, and she's like, "Oh, that was just me." And then they come out and they're like under the covers together. It was quite cute.
It was cute. Yeah,
I just saw that on my notes, and I was like,
the mum or the grandma or the nan or whatever says, "Oh, you're very hungry for a sick person," and obviously Tare's eating like half the food almost. Yeah, that was very sweet.
And then that kind of brought me a bit on board. I was like, okay, this is.
And then cute. Like the next scene is like, we're gonna fucking off ourselves now.
Yeah, let's kill ourselves.
Come on, lads, let's just jump on the train tracks.
Fucking brilliant.
It was a roller coaster. We haven't even finished it.
So after Adele's been beheaded, it swears revenge on Devilman and says the general's gonna get you.
This is like the demon clan or the demon army are coming for you. Or something,
but then because Adal's been killed, all the mannequins just like set on fire.
And this is that looked quite cool. It's like on the news.
It's on the news. It's all over Tokyo. Yeah. These mannequins have been taken over and impersonating people.
Which I want to know more about. Like,
totally.
You see like one person talking in like, it almost looks like a parliamentary room, and they're like at the front, and then they set a light, and it's like, oh shit, we literally just saw like one kid get pushed into suicide when actually the entirety of Tokyo has been taken over.
Yeah, like
it says somewhere.
It's quite a cool like reveal of like this has been happening everywhere.
Yeah,
like
it's
how
quite
many people have they
because
convinced?
like you'd often get films and stuff that focus on the taking over Tokyo, and you'd be like, oh, I wonder what it's like for like the everyday people. Whereas this twists it and focus on like the everyday people, ignoring like the bigger stuff.
Like they could have easily done it as like the prime minister gets taken over by a mannequin.
Yeah, exactly. But they're like,
but it's just a little kid.
We're gonna focus on Taro because he's our friend.
What's the Japanese prime minister? Does anyone know? Is that?
I don't know who it would have been in 1972.
No. As in like, what's the title? Is it? President?
Oh yeah. No, I was looking here for president.
I don't know.
President. Yeah, it's president. President, like it was Hirohito, wasn't it? And president.
He was Emperor
Hirohito.
Because the Godzilla films tend to be grouped in the eras of emperors. So you have like the Showa era and stuff. But Japan I think they have a
prime minister. Yeah, prime minister.
Oh, okay.
It is prime minister.
So they've still got an emperor.
Right. So
they currently have Emperor Naruhito, Prime Minister Yoshihide.
So it's similar to us, where they've got.
I didn't know they still had an emperor. I don't know what I thought was going on over there, but
he only took over a couple of years ago.
Cool.
But
sorry.
As it says on here, most of them whom were high-ranking officials. It says on the Wikipedia. So that sentiment is not just yours alone, Lewis. That he's
that was very formal.
I know.
Yeah.
He's kind of like infiltrated like the whole of Tokyo.
Yeah.
Maybe Japan.
I think they say Tokyo.
They say Tokyo, but
Tokyo's so massive, like.
And then so they all just blow up basically, don't they?
Yeah, I've seen like maps of like Tokyo, and it's literally like from here to Birmingham, like. Greater Tokyo covers like that area.
Because the thing is, Japan as an island isn't that different size to us.
No, it's bigger than the UK. Like I think it's like an extra like 50% on top, like lengthwise. From like, and you think like if you're going from here to like the tip of Scotland, Birmingham's only like a quarter of the way up.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. Yeah. I mean, landmass size.
UK's so small.
No, yeah, okay, yeah.
I think like because
it doesn't look that different on a map, but because it stretches out both more to the west and more to the north,
and like
there's an extra
across like the whole island of Britain, like the Midlands actually quite southern because most of Scotland is like nobody lives there.
Yeah, so if you think
really
about actually like England, it's like
and obviously a lot of their cities like Tokyo are incredibly densely populated.
Yeah,
so
they have like several cities within Tokyo essentially.
Yeah, so that's what you mean by Greater Tokyo. You've got all the
surrounding
like
areas.
mini Tokyos on the outside.
Yeah.
But the boys get back safe basically.
Yeah,
do we know if Tare knows that Akira is Devilman? It's kind of brushed over. I don't think he
does.
It's not really stated.
I think he probably just comes back from fighting Adal and then just goes, I found you.
Yeah, because he's then reunited with his family and Tare immediately runs over to Mio, who's so happy. And Miki, who's like, you thought I was dead, is just like, and turns away. And then they all laugh.
And they're like,
classic teenage
and it's like,
girl.
this is, it's nice that you're back together. But you thought your
tiny
son was dead.
And also, like, that kid just got, like, mind fucked by a demon mannequin. He's going to get some serious PTSD. Like, PTSD. Like, he's going to be, like, fucked.
Yeah, but he's like, I imagine he's quite used to it. There's probably shit going on all the time with these demons.
Like he's going to be traumatized.
Then it goes to credits and we get another great song.
Yeah, we get another great song. We get loads of shots of Akira riding his motorbike.
Yeah, there's lots of like other demons in the credits.
There's a cool plant one that's like a a Venus flytrap lady.
Yeah,
That's
there's lots of cool ones. It did make me think like, the designs for this are
what I
really
wrote.
cool.
Yeah, I wrote the demon designs are like
yeah,
really
actually,
cool.
I've got that as well.
Yeah.
Cool demon designs.
And I'm glad we all agree that the demon designs are cool.
Cool demon designs. The lyrics for the
I actually wrote fun monsters.
The lyrics for the outro are very good as well. It's like, he'll be Devilman again somewhere tomorrow.
Aww. Yeah, and then we get the post credit, which is the preview for the next episode.
But it's about 3 minutes.
It's like
long,
3 minutes long, and it goes through like the entire episode.
Is 4 minutes long.
The song is 4 minutes.
The song was 4 minutes long because I remember thinking, this song is fucking 4 minutes long.
And then we get
we basically get told the next week is Demon
Ice
Django.
demon.
It's like an ice demon, freezes people.
Yeah.
We see like lots of shots. It's also revealed that the demon is actually one of Akira's friends. Used to be Akira's only friend. I feel there's no room for spoilers here.
Or was it Amon's friend?
Who's Amon?
Oh.
Who's Amon?
The demon inside Akira.
I'm not sure, but it could be. That would make
quite
more
possibly,
sense.
yeah.
But either way, the twist.
How could I forget?
The
Amon.
twist in that episode is ruined, and most of the last fight seems to be ruined as well.
Yeah.
But you know, it looked like a
kid
fun
show in the
episode.
70s. I suspect it was just the norm.
Yeah, it keeps you going until the next week, doesn't it? Really.
I can't wait to see that. And then you go and watch that.
And then you just never watch it because
I might.
no.
I might.
You probably get to watch 2 on a Saturday morning, probably.
No.
I did quite enjoy that.
Did you?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good, actually. It was really weird.
I messaged Sam at the end, like straight after, just saying that was fucking wild.
Yeah, well, this is why, because I really tried not to watch any of it, like even little bits. I'd watched like 5 seconds of the opening where it's like do 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 do, and it's like and I was like, oh, okay, cool. I paused it, and I'd seen like screenshots. I'd seen screenshots of the dummies. I hadn't seen Adal, the demon, and I was like, this like 70s anime. Knowing Devilman Crybaby, if it's anything like that, I was like, this is gonna be.
See, like I had nothing to base this on before watching it.
Yeah.
So like the suicide things, the mannequins being creepy.
That I wasn't sure how dark it would go.
It just
really
got darker.
dark.
Like it started off.
You say that Devilman Crybaby, Lewis. You just wait and see when you carry on with that. It's fucked up. It's really.
So we might as well talk about Crybaby because I knew there was some Devilman.
That's not a very nice thing to call her.
I knew there was some Devilman stuff on Netflix. So I was like, I'll see what's on there. Because after watching this, I was like, I'd be quite interested in watching a modern adaptation.
Yeah.
And like Crybaby was like one of the highest anticipated animes for years. And I put on the episode and I was like, oh, it's kind of weird animation style.
Yeah.
I kind of want to see Devilman. So I watched like the last 5 minutes where.
Oh, did you just skip ahead?
Yeah, where Rio, his friend, takes him to the club and
I
was like, I have never seen anything like this before in my life. Like
it's insane.
It's really, really
there's just people having sex.
Yeah,
like,
there's like boobs just like swinging
everywhere.
Into the camera.
People like in
there's
like
girls
bondage.
just like fingering each other, and then like
Lewis never seen any of this before. There's a very sheltered.
What's not on Netflix?
This is what I mean. This is what I mean. The anime I watch is on Netflix.
But then also his friend just starts glassing everyone.
Yeah,
he smashes. And then they all turn into really fucking weird monsters. Like, one of them was like a woman and like her ass opened up and it was a mouth. And one of them, like, their boobs turned into like tentacles.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck is this?
I walked out before.
I was thinking, like, once we finish recording, we're going to sit down and watch the last 5 minutes of the episode.
I think Amy's seen a little bit
because
of that.
If we could just not
fucking
do that.
mad. And he becomes Devilman for the first time.
Devil.
There's some sort of
Jesus. It's very much like how insane this was for the 70s.
Yeah.
Update that 50 years and like, this was
the scene. That was one of the scenes that I walked in and you you were watching. And I was like, what the fuck are you watching?
In that one, I think there's some sort of there's like extreme sex drug party things.
Yeah.
And somehow that's opening some sort of, hell portal situation. I think by committing violence on people, it's like quickening that up or something. I think then he opens it up and this rogue demon goes into Akira.
Yeah.
And so then from then on, it's much more of a continuous story in that version.
Yeah, which makes sense.
And actually, I think I read, just come back to me now, this version we watched, the 1972 version, Akira he's with his dad doing a mountain climbing expedition or hiking, and they both get killed in an avalanche.
Right.
And then the demon who's just run away.
In this version that we've watched.
In this version, the demon inhabits his body and brings him back.
Okay.
So I'm pretty sure that that's not his dad and mum that are there. He has gone to live with Miki's family, I think.
Yeah.
Which is similar in the Crybaby, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, either way, yeah, something happens and he ends up getting possessed kind of situation.
Overall, I thought that was a thoroughly entertaining 25 minutes. Like, like I was thinking like 70s anime, like it'll be whatever, but like that was a blast. Like,
what did you think, Sam?
Were you ever not entertained? Like,
I am not
did you get bored at any point? Like,
no,
I didn't.
Yeah, Amy, you go first.
I don't know. I don't know. I thought it was a bit.
I mean, like it's obviously dated, but like
no, I didn't mind it dated. I felt I didn't really like the way it was animated, which is the whole kind of thing. Like, if you don't like the way it looks, it's hard to like get engaged
potentially
with it.
Yeah.
I loved like all the weird shit, and I like how dark it went. But at the beginning I was kind of like,
it was a bit of a weird, I didn't really find it start, to be fair. I mean, I thought it was entertaining, like the weird, the weird. No, totally. I
thought it was good.
But I mean, saying I can see how, it. Yeah, I can see how you might be a bit put off by certain like longer parts at the start.
Yeah,
where it's not quite.
I think generally things of that era tend to be slower paced. Like even like absolute classic like films that come out in the 70s, like Star Wars or The Godfather,
and like the first Alien film that we watched.
It's
just a lot of long shots.
It takes a lot of long intro, just because at the time,
the 70s
slower build-ups were more common. Whereas now we want to get more into it quicker.
Yeah, because all of our attention spans have been like.
But even you skip ahead to the 80s and like 80s action compared to 70s action. Well,
yeah,
70s action was still like pretty, but the story beats were a bit slower.
You go back and watch Star Wars, and I love Star Wars, but the first half of that first film is slow. And I don't think that's a criticism. Like, I think it's good how it takes a slow build up.
Yeah,
but like if that was made now,
did you hear the news recently? It was it George Lucas's ex-wife?
Yeah,
who was an editor on the original Star Wars.
She's the one who basically made Star Wars.
She's credited with cutting so much shit out of that first film.
Really? Well, that's cool.
She's credited like saving it, because like the film that George Lucas made, like while it was all there, was like edited like shit. So she stepped in, edited it, and made it what it was.
Behind every strong man, there's a strong woman.
But it's the classic film. It's the classic thing that like George Lucas made it, but it was her and John Williams that made it popular.
I mean, it goes to show that the prequels are a good example. We've even talked about it on this podcast before.
Yeah.
But giving someone complete freedom and creative control is not almost ever a good thing. You need some, limitations of. Studio's not the best example, because they normally
but someone they
up recently.
Someone they trust, can work with.
Yeah, who can bounce ideas off, or get someone else to edit it to rein in like your crazy visions.
Otherwise
crazy vision.
Otherwise
of dummies running down the street.
Otherwise, you end up with a film about a trade embargo in space.
Yes, or a 4-hour-long cut of Justice League.
I was about to say, yeah.
I still haven't watched that.
We still haven't watched it. I think we've all been waiting to watch it together.
Have you not watched it yet?
No, we were going to watch it together, weren't we?
Yeah, no, I just assumed that you'd watched it.
No, Amy's been trying to watch it, and I said, I can't watch it without Lewis.
Oh.
And I'm like, fuck Lewis, I hate that guy. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, I mean, you're not, though.
Joking.
Before ratings, any trivia?
Yeah, well, I was just going to go through just very quickly.
Oh, yeah. Let's do that.
There's 8 different powers that are mentioned by name in the opening theme.
The Bullwing.
The first one.
That's Lewis's favourite.
That's my favourite.
His devil arrow is a supersonic wave.
Yeah, that's cool. So I imagine it's not just like an arrow. It's a supersonic.
So I don't think we get that one in it. We get the cutter. Like,
we only get the cutter in the wing in this episode.
Then his devil ears can hear anything.
Yeah, I like that. That's
can
cool.
hear anything.
They can just hear anything.
They can just hear anything.
So maybe that's how he could sense stuff up.
I think it's probably like a
clouds.
Daredevil sort of powers where he focuses on like one thing and really listens.
Devilman.
Oh,
we could do a nice little mashup of them. His devil wing lets him fly through the air.
So how did you pronounce it?
His Deburu wing
Better.
lets him fly through the air. His devil beam is a ray of heat.
Yeah, it's like Superman's.
We see it in the. I think also he can do like.
He's got so many powers.
Oh god, we're only halfway through. His devil chop. His devil chop has a punching power.
Yeah, that kind of made me think of like One Punch Man.
So vague.
It just made me think of like what they say, like karate chop action for like old toys where you press a button and like karate chop action.
Do you remember that episode of Regular Show where they go back in the chair and some guy from the 70s has been living in the seat of the chair?
It's in it's like a shag carpet chair in like an old like Cadillac or something.
And because he didn't know it's the 70s, they fight him, but he's like doing like karate chops.
It's like slow karate.
Oh yeah! And, just like,
and then when they hit him, he's like, oh!
He falls over. Honestly, one of the greatest sequences.
We watched that at least twice together.
Oh, more than that. It's
funny.
so funny.
I think we watched that.
I always forget how funny that episode is, and then it just
Yeah.
If anyone hasn't seen it, it's Regular Show. Just look up Regular Show.
It's the Every Meat Burrito episode.
It is, yeah. I was going to say, just look up You can look up the 70s guy clip, or if you want to spend 10 minutes, which I'd recommend.
Because it's 10 minutes. That's the beauty of Regular Show.
Yeah, very funny.
What is Regular Show? Isn't on anything now, is it?
No, we had it on some kids thing that we had, but I unsubscribed from it because I didn't want to pay for it anymore.
Some kids thing.
His devil kick has destructive power.
Oh,
so it's different to the punching power of the devil chop.
Does the devil chop has punching power? Does that just mean that his chop
is like really powerful? Like,
has the power of a punch?
A big punch, I think. Yeah.
But surely that doesn't just punch them instead of chop
don't. They've got to fit this into a song.
And also,
why doesn't
in
he
Japanese
just punch
they might
people?
rhyme. It might rhyme.
Oh, I'm sure it does. His devil eye. I don't know which one it is, but his devil eye has X-ray power.
Sam just pointed to his eye.
I
just
pointed
in case
to both
we
my eyes.
Forgot.
Independently. And the last one, I think we saw him kill Adal with. His devil cutter can break through a rock.
Is that just like a weapon?
Well, no, he shoots off. It's almost like batarangs.
Yeah.
They were like little curved things, and he shot off loads of them from his
body. But that's
body.
like in his costume
his
body.
because he's like a demon. I think it's
from his body.
Like a Spider-Man like web thing.
Yeah, like a Tobey Maguire Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Gross.
or I thought like a batarang kind of thing, but it comes out of him.
Yeah, it seems to just
almost like is it Superman 4 where he uses the S on his top?
I think it might be earlier than that, but yeah,
it's like the S comes off and like wraps someone in like cling film.
Yeah,
I feel like,
he throws it off and it enlarges into like a human-sized thing and then just wraps someone up. I think it might be 2 or 3. I don't think it's 2 actually, but I don't know. I haven't
watched them in years. So.
I haven't seen any of them.
Yeah, but that is all that I've got there on that one. I've got the lyrics to both songs, but we might have a look at those afterwards if we've got a little bit of time at the very, very end there. But yeah, should we go through some ratings then?
I've got a couple bits of trivia.
Oh, okay.
Have you got any trivia, Amy?
No, I said I was going to look up trivia because I thought I should come prepared with something. But I haven't got anything to provide.
So a couple of bits. Miki, the almost love interest whole thing, dies quite early in the manga apparently.
Right,
well, not early, but like not way into it. Miki, who's
the older sister,
the one who apparently dies, actually like properly dies in the manga.
So is this a bit of a play on that then? Do you think?
Maybe, but also it might be that this is just set in the same universe, different stories. Yeah. So that might be in the manga, like a motivational thing for Akira.
I remember what happens in Crybaby, and I will not spoil it for.
Does she die in that? Okay, yeah, but I don't know why I asked you that because I actually kind of want to watch Cry Baby.
Yeah, she might. She might do it at some point.
And the other thing that
she doesn't die early on.
Maybe
Okay.
not.
She doesn't die early on.
Okay, well, I wonder when she dies then.
She might not die at all.
Oh yeah, okay. The other bit of trivia is that this was only ever released in Japan, apart from it was released in Italy in 1983.
Oh, I actually saw that on a thing.
Why?
Which is they just exported it
And
to
they
Italy in 1983.
They changed Adal's name to like Dragon or something.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And it was like cool. Apparently, Italy might have got into like anime in the early 80s.
Maybe there was an anime hype. Is there an anime hype right now?
I'd
feel like
say
there
kind
is.
of, yeah.
I feel like lockdown happened.
I think it's become more acceptable for people to get into anime.
Yeah, before everyone was like, "Oh, you like anime? That means you
That's
like
that's why I've
tentacle
started
porn."
watching it.
And you've been watching it for years. Your tentacle
No,
porn.
Oh no, I've been watching tentacle porn because I've only just started watching anime recently.
No, but I feel like lockdown
Watch
happened,
live
and then
action
before that, is it Studio Ghibli?
Studio Ghibli.
Studio Ghibli.
Ghibli or Ghibli?
It depends on who you are.
It might be.
Studio
Hayao
Ghibli
Miyazaki.
went on Netflix, and then like lockdown
Well, that was only
happened.
very
Yeah.
recently.
No,
though,
and then
yeah.
lockdown happened, and now everyone like is
But
talking about
I
anime.
think people in Studio Ghibli before that.
Yeah.
It's just more easily accessible.
Spirited
Yeah.
Away won an Oscar in like 2005
Spirited Away
or
is-
something.
It was bloody brilliant.
Oh, fucking!
I
We need
think
to watch
it's-
I
that.
think it's like
No, yeah,
2001,
we need to watch
actually.
that again
Yeah.
because we watched it when I was incredibly hungover and
2001,
feeling
yeah.
very anxious.
Yeah, and
Like-
you really didn't like it, but it is like
It's
a,
one of
I
my-
it's like a
felt
trip.
so
It's
weird.
one of my
All those
favorite
films,
animated films
like-
of all time.
Yeah.
Like. That
Not-
and Princess Mononoke is absolutely brilliant.
What
Yeah.
about Lion King?
Yeah, you can have multiple.
I said one of, like, you know.
But yeah, I was just very anxious and hungover when we watched that, so I do need to
we
watch it
hadn't got
again
much
because
sleep,
I was not in the right.
I'm pretty sure the
mindset.
first time I watched Princess Mononoke was when I went back to yours after a night out. And
Did we
just-
watch it?
Yeah, we like literally sat in like your bed at your mum's and watched Princess Mononoke.
Aww.
I literally don't remember.
You might
that.
have fallen asleep, but I was like, I've never seen this before.
Is that the one where she flies and she's
No,
got like
that's
like she's like and she goes to different like countries and stuff and she like
No.
has got like a glider.
When she's
like-
got the
No.
that's
Avatar.
Nausicaa in the Valley of the Wind.
Oh, Nausicaa in the Valley of the Wind.
This is the one with the wolves.
Because I watched
Yeah.
that
The
because
Wolf
that was
Girl.
the only DVD we had in my uni flat, and we didn't have Wi-Fi, and I was the only one there for
Oh,
like
yeah,
a
one of
day,
the times
for
you
like a
used
week, and yeah, I was like, "Can I use your DVD, your PlayStation, and watch this one DVD we had?" And it was just that, and I was like, "Cool, okay, I guess I'm
That's
watching
a
this."
good one. Have
But
you
it was
seen that?
good.
No, I
It
haven't
was
seen that
good.
one,
I was
no.
like, I'm glad that
It's cool, like sci-fi, like Junie kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, it was
actually.
that
Yeah,
one
yeah.
was good.
Junie.
Junie,
I don't really know
Like
what that means.
June.
like June.
Oh, I didn't really know what you mean. I just said
June,
yes.
Yeah.
June-ish,
June.
June-ish, Junie,
Yeah, yeah,
like the month of June.
yeah. Okay.
It's all very clearly set in the month
Okay.
of June. But yeah, any other
No,
trivia?
that's it. I'm happy to move on to ratings.
Cool.
Should we let our guest go first?
Yeah, Amy, do you want to go first?
I don't want to score it too low.
No, it's
Oh,
all right. No,
whoa,
no,
whoa.
Score it however you want. Don't worry about what.
Preferably out of 10.
Yeah,
10 being
yeah.
the highest.
Whatever you want out of 10.
I'm
I
scoring
go
it
42.
18.5. No, I'm joking. I'm gonna give it a 4. 5. 4.5.
Oh,
Cool.
we don't usually do decimals.
Yeah. 4.5.
We don't really do decimals.
4 or
so-
5? Pick one.
Don't worry about being too low.
5.
Yeah, you're going to give it a 5 out of 10.
Because I liked the end.
Cool.
Cool.
I liked
And
that it
I
ended. No,
think I will give it a. It's difficult because I don't think this episode was a great example of what
Yeah.
the show
Yeah.
is. I think I would have given the show, if I'd seen another episode, that's impossible to tell, isn't it? I think another episode I would have rated 1 or 2 higher than probably what
That's
I'd rate
fair.
this. So I think I'd probably give this about a 6. I think I enjoyed it.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
I think I'd give it a 7. I'd give it a 7.
7.
Which
Cool.
I think if it was a really good episode, say it was one where he was fighting loads of demons and stuff,
Yeah.
you know, I could
Yeah.
easily put it to like an 8 maybe even higher if it was particularly weird and enjoyable. I like the weird stuff in it, and I think that pushes it from like a 5 or a 6.
Yeah,
up to a
that's
7.
why I changed it to a 5, because I did like how dark it got. Because if it was just like some kid and then like he got taken by a mannequin, but then everything turned out to be fine, I'd be like, right, why am I watching this? But because it was like, oh my god, this kid just murdered his sister and now he's gonna kill himself. It's like, okay, right, this is quite cool.
I had a blast watching this. Like I get you saying, like, I reckon it was probably one of the weaker episodes based on what we could see. I reckon there is which may influence my decision, and also I'm very much looking at it. I'm very much looking at it as it is like a 70s anime show.
Yeah.
So my gut thought was an 8 out of 10.
Oh my god!
Because like I said, like, it was 25 minutes, and like I really enjoyed the whole thing.
Well, that's nice.
And as you said, I know there's probably better episodes than this, which may influence my 8. But I'm just man, this was good. Like,
that's
I love
good.
this.
And I kind of want to watch this through before I watch Crybaby.
Yeah,
because then you'll have like the background knowledge.
You're gonna watch more of this.
Yeah, I think I will.
You're gonna watch more of it.
Why? No, I'm joking. I didn't hate it.
I'm not surprised.
It's like 20 minutes long, so like, why not?
The other ones are 20
and I get to sit at home singing "The Beer All Man, The Beer All Man."
Yeah, I can't remember what the.
You can do that without watching.
The Beer All Man.
Yeah, I don't know why. I couldn't.
What other than that? Like, what other than just the rating, Amy? What did you particularly like or not like about it?
I liked the design of the like demons and stuff. I thought that was quite cool.
Yeah.
I thought it was something different to what we usually see.
I thought it was so strange.
Was it a bit too weird, did you think?
No, yeah, but that makes me sound like I'm like, whoa.
No.
I think it's perfect acceptable to give it a 5. I reckon most people would watch an animated 1972 Japanese show and give it a 5. I don't think you're the exception here. It's probably me.
Yeah, I just thought I just couldn't like get engaged. Also, because it was halfway through a series, I was like,
I don't think it would have made any difference.
No,
to be
yeah,
honest.
to be fair, it
But
felt
the first episode probably would have been more of an introduction.
We have an introduction and a final boss battle, and then the 39 episodes in between are just this over and over.
Yeah,
it was. I didn't like the way it was animated, and I didn't really like the music, which was...
The music was very...
How can you not like the music?
Other than the title song, obviously. But I feel like that they were two very prominent features of it.
The actual
obviously.
soundtrack was quite intense, to be fair.
Once I got over that, I thought like the weird, like the intense stuff was quite cool.
That's fair.
Yeah. Lewis, anything particular?
Yeah. It was just like a fever dream.
I just thought like
wait, before fever dream is
it's just
I thought
just so
the
weird.
weirdness of it was so kind of unique and cool.
Yeah.
It was just like I said, like this is just like a lot of like Western animated shows of the time wouldn't have been this brave and would have been a lot.
True.
So like this is around the same era as the Star Trek animated series that I watched fairly recently, and like it's so tame in comparison. And that's like Star Trek, which would have been like really, really popular and famous, and like that's the kind of and like that and Scooby Doo is like the standard for like Western cartoons at this time.
It's like even the 60s
to that, it's like,
Spider-Man, the 60s Spider-Man is like so like not. It's like tame, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hey kid, you just get back here, otherwise I'll call your mother.
You even get onto like the 60s Batman, the live action Adam West series, where it's just like he wouldn't ever throw a punch that would hurt someone. Like, and this has got kids that are about to commit suicide.
I'm gonna fucking push you in front of a train.
Yeah, like, I was just like, yeah,
okay,
and it was just thoroughly enjoyable. But yeah, I'm happy giving it an 8.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, no, I'd agree with a lot of what both of you said. To be honest, like I can see why, Amy, you weren't massively fond of some of it.
Yeah,
but at the same time, I did appreciate the weirdness. I just think that it probably wasn't. You know, I think I can't really get past the fact that it wasn't probably the best episode.
Yeah, no, that's
fair. You know, it wasn't the prime example of a Devilman episode.
Yeah.
And I think maybe having seen Devilman Crybaby before,
that
it kind of
may
was
influence.
like I was still surprised, like you were saying about how, you know, some of the violence and like, especially just like the weird child's, like there's not to spoil Crybaby, but the little brother doesn't try and kill himself, as far as I remember. He might try and kill someone else, but he doesn't try and kill himself.
There's no point in watching it then, is there?
So it's like, it's a different...
What's the point of watching it if the kid doesn't kill himself?
Oh, a lot of people die in that, honestly.
Even in that literally like 4-minute segment from the first episode, I watched so many people die.
But the name characters, like it's bleak.
I love that.
That's what I think I'm going to watch it.
I
But I
like
kind of want to watch the 1972 one first, just to
there's also
have the background.
there's also an 80s and 90s one in between.
I know. I can't watch all of it.
You have to watch all of
Maybe
them.
I'll make a spreadsheet.
I think there's
my
Lewis
God.
needs spreadsheets.
So exciting.
I made it. Actually, I'll bring that up on personal projects.
Yeah.
So that's a personal project.
I think
You have to teach me how to use a fucking spreadsheet.
I think that kind of gets to the end of the main segment. Yeah.
Yeah, we can lead straight into personal projects.
So we lead straight into personal projects. Okay, so it's time for personal projects. As you might have heard from the end of that last segment, we were experiencing some technical difficulties with one of the microphones. So me and Amy will now be sharing a microphone for the last few minutes.
Yeah, we added a new microphone for this pod because we've got a guest, and it worked for most of it, but we've had a little difficulties. So we'll just move on, go straight into personal projects.
Me and Sam are very cozy.
Yeah, so Amy, do you want to kick us off with your personal projects?
Oh yeah, okay. I have got a project at the moment. My brother's getting married in like 2 weeks, so I'm in charge of doing it. Sam just opened a beer.
You were saying at the wedding, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Anyway, so I'm in charge of doing his table plan and making it all look pretty. So I've been spending the last 2 weeks painting ivy and doing all kinds of decorative things.
Sounds kind of stressful.
It was quite stressful. I felt like I was going to mess it up and someone was going to be ending up in like the wrong space and it was all going to get a bit political and terrible.
I'm picturing like that bit in Friends where they're and like and is it Joey's parents that are suddenly going to the wedding and then not going to the wedding?
There's a whole thing about them wanting to be invited and then they can't go in the end or something like that. There's a thing about Irish postman or something. The Irish and the postman.
Oh yeah, I think
that
bit's funny.
Yeah. I'm just imagining you sitting there with one of those like big pieces of paper with little flags in, moving people around.
They've got one of those. They sent me a PDF.
Wow.
PDF.
So down with modern technology. One of those newfangled PDFs.
I was like, is this correct? Is it not? I don't know. It's a PDF of one of those, pretty much. So.
Cool.
But luckily, Amy, you haven't actually been arranging the table plan, have you? You're doing the table plan as a plan that people refer to, like a board decorative, decorative thing.
With Ivy.
Yes.
With Ivy.
Yeah, I was over ambitious and I gave myself way too much work, but it's almost finished. So
cool. And you've still got a couple of weeks. So
yeah.
Fine.
Very organised.
Nice.
And what about you, Lewis?
Yeah, so as you both know, I've got a little fascination with spreadsheets, you can say, and I've made plenty of spreadsheets before. Big ones being like Star Wars and Star Trek ones, and you list like all the episodes. And I was actually going to send this to you, but I made a Marvel Cinematic Universe spreadsheet listing all the films, all the TV shows, all the episodes of all the TV shows with their IMDb ratings. It took a bit of time.
So it's not personal ratings then?
No.
But you have got personal ratings
I'll have a
in there?
second column for that. So when I eventually sit down and watch through them, I'll give them all a rating. Like I've been doing that
organised.
I've been doing that with Star Trek. So I recently decided, a while ago, decided to watch Star Trek chronologically from the start. So start with Enterprise.
As you'll have heard on a couple of episodes.
Yeah, started with Enterprise, did season 1 and 2 of Discovery, original series, animated, and now on to the Next Generation, going through rating those episodes. So, I mean, it'll be way down the time, but I might just watch the entire MCU chronologically. But I realised...
There's so much to it.
I know it's going to take me like over a year to get through.
What was it you said at the end of Endgame, Amy?
What happens now? Yeah. And then you just said it just carries on. There's just going to be more and more.
Yeah, so like it's one of those as well. Like
forever.
By the time I start doing this, I'll have to catch up and start watching other stuff.
Yeah, well, you're already behind on the current stuff.
Yeah, and
actually the latest What If. I'm not going to spoil anything for anybody, but yeah, shit was going down in that.
Yeah, so, I've seen some like screenshots I'm trying to avoid. There's also things like I've seen most of the series, but there's a third season of Runaways, a second season of Cloak and Dagger, Hellstrom. I haven't watched any of.
None of these I've ever heard of at all. No, I don't know what the fuck you're talking
it's
about.
quite fun seeing like the average ratings and realising that, as I've said before, Daredevil is the highest rated TV show because Daredevil's fucking brilliant.
Yeah, we've been meaning to watch that for ages. Yeah. I watched some of it.
I watched it when it first came out, each season. As with a lot of the Netflix
as I mentioned, last week, the week before, I've been rewatching Daredevil, and I'll come up with do I watch the others as well?
Oh, yeah,
and I was like, you know what, I will watch Defenders as well because Daredevil's in it. And I got halfway through it, and I haven't watched any for a while, so maybe I should have
That's the thing, as we said a week or two ago with those Netflix series, because they pad it out to 13. I know Defenders is shorter.
Yeah.
But by the time you get through half of the 13, it's just... If it's not engaging, it's just not engaging.
I feel like if I'd skipped Defenders and just watched Daredevil season 3, I would have made it like most way through it by now. Yeah. Because I've been watching Defenders, I'm like, I think I've only got a couple episodes left, but like it's just not as interesting.
No.
But yeah, so I'm gonna make my way through Marvel at some point. How about you, Sam? Any personal projects?
Me and Amy both watched Blade Runner 2049.
Nice.
I'd seen it a couple of times in the cinema, but I don't think all the way through since then. We tried to watch it a while ago, didn't we? Amy, yeah.
I ruined our plans.
What did you do?
She was she ended up being very drunk when we were watching it, and we decided not to carry on because it's almost 3-hour film, and I think you're a little bit lost because you've been out with friends. It was like, I don't think it was a leaving do, but it was something like where people were all getting together after work kind of thing.
And I was like, oh no, I won't get too drunk, it's okay. And it just it happened and it escalated, and I came back and I was like, no, we can definitely still watch the film. And I just was staring at it like, what the actual fuck is going on?
It is a fantastic film.
Yeah.
I need to rewatch it again at some point because
I was saying I put it on my new Letterboxd account as my first 5-star film.
Oh,
I just thought like I view it in a slightly different way to when I watched it. I thought it was much more like haunting and like kind of I don't know, just like I got a different like vibe from it almost.
We need that the maddening music from Devilman.
You know what it does have a great soundtrack. It's not quite as maddening. It's more kind of intense. Throbbing.
I think I've only seen it music. Throbbing, eh? I mean,
you've been watching too much anime.
Too much of that, anime,
Well, Harrison Ford is a good-looking man.
They're not throbbing like that.
I think I've only seen it the once, so I definitely need to go back and watch it again because it is great. Like,
I thought it looked amazing, but
does look amazing. And I
thought it was amazing, but I think it was hyped up too much in my head. One of our friends keeps going on about how it was so
keeps going on about it.
You do get that, like
the best film he's ever seen.
An example that always reminds me of Libertines, the band, because I had a friend in college who literally went on and on and on about them. And I was like, yeah, Libertines are good. I like Libertines, but he almost weekly, this is in like 2010 when they weren't even together, on a weekly basis he would talk about how they like saved rock and roll and were like the defining band of the last 30 years. And I was like, I like the Libertines, but I think you're overstating it to a bit. And he'd go on so much, I was just like, no. And I hate the
Libertines.
I didn't listen to the Libertines for like 2 years because this guy loved them so much.
And then
I went to uni, met Sam, and like I was like, I'm going to listen to the Libertines again because I don't have to hang out with this cunt.
And we ended up booking tickets that
Yeah,
time,
we
didn't
went
we?
to see them
We were a little bit inebriated when we booked our tickets, and
Yeah.
it was a very good time.
And I won that ring from that random girl in the crowd.
Yeah, I don't remember.
They said there was going to be like some announcement at the end of the show, and we had like a bet.
Yeah.
And I think I bet that they were going to do like a tour.
Yeah,
because it was going to be an album.
It was the reunion gig.
Yeah, it's Hyde Park.
At Hyde Park. Yeah, it was a big deal.
And it was a tour they're announcing, so I won a ring, which I think's still in a box somewhere.
It was like one of those cheap copper rings that just leaves a green mark on your finger.
I can't remember what I bet on my half, but
yeah,
it must have been something.
A kiss.
Your house keys.
A kiss from a...
Damn. Why did they have to announce the tour and not an album?
No, I don't remember. I went to a couple of those Hyde Park things. They kind of blur together, to be honest. I don't remember what happened at what, but they were good times.
We met that weird guy at Victoria Station.
That was very strange. Yeah, that's the story for another
the weirdest
time.
people.
Yeah,
cool. So I took your
no. I basically no hot takes for Blade Runner, but it was the thing that I've watched recently that stuck with me the most.
Yeah, it is a film that sticks with you.
Yeah. And I think, Amy, you were saying you might watch it again at some point, and because it's a bit twisty turny, isn't it?
I think it was plot heavy, and I think I need to watch it again to appreciate it fully.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Because there was a lot going on, and I just come home from work.
To be fair, we did watch it, Lewis, the dreaded, over 2 nights.
Oh my god!
Which is just
I can't ever watch a film.
And guess what, Lewis? For some reason, I don't know why. I think either Amy needed to start getting stuff ready for work or something. We paused it thinking there was more time.
My washing had finished.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
The really, really important
we paused it thinking there was like half an hour left. Turned out it was about 5 minutes left. So the real flow of the end was just like real. Not for me, but for a first time watch. Yeah.
No, it's
very ridiculous. Much so. So, but yeah, that's all from me. Yeah. Anyone else got anything else?
I think that's just about it.
Cool. So I'll round us off then. Lewis, reviews. What have you got to say about that?
Yeah. So as always, if you enjoy listening to us, give us a 5-star review. It really helps with the system and algorithm that nobody truly understands, but we know. Give us a 5-star review. It helps get the word out there. If you like listening to us, then it can encourage us to do more if we're getting good reviews. It's nice to hear what people think. If you've got some constructive criticism, give us a 5-star and then tell us what, because you're our listeners. We want to know what you want to hear. So make sure you give us 5 stars. I'm sure Amy's already given us 5 stars.
I know, that's what I was just thinking. Amy,
I gave you 1 star and said that I wanted to replace you.
Amy, as we know, as we've said for at least 4 episodes, 5 stars for the algorithm. And then you can write whatever you want.
No, I gave you 5 stars. You're my favourite podcast.
Whatever platform you listen to. I think Spotify doesn't have 5 stars.
Apple iTunes is
it's the one to
Apple iTunes. Apple Music. It's Apple Music now, isn't it? Yeah. That's why I'm saying Apple. But yeah, if you want to have any more specific interactions with us, give us some specific feedback. You can send us an email at theprojectprojectpod@gmail.com. On Facebook and Instagram, we are the Project Project Pod. On Twitter, we are at that Project Pod. And on Reddit, we are the Project Project. And we've recently just posted up some stuff about ProjOctober, as we're now we're now halfway through, aren't we?
Yeah.
So we have the rest of the episodes for the month planned out. We've got a couple more guests. Hopefully, no more technical issues. We'll get on top of that before next time.
Another new guest next week, and then a final new guest for our final ProjOctober episode. And then we'll go back for just the 2 of us.
Yeah.
For a bit anyway. We might have guests again in the future.
Yeah.
If you like the guests, then let us know. We can get them back on.
Absolutely.
If you think Amy was a great addition, let us know. We can get her back on.
Give me 5 stars.
Yeah, 5 stars. Amy was the best bit.
Absolutely.
We might get her back on.
If all of Amy's family start leaving reviews, then that'll mean a lot to us and a lot to Amy, I'm sure. But yeah, in terms of suggesting topics, we are planned for the next 2 episodes, but after that we are a blank canvas.
We've got a big database of projects to work through, but if people want to listen to anything in particular, just let us know, because we only really decide the week before what we're going to watch. So.
Yeah. This month is the most planned we've ever been. Most organised we've ever been.
Usually it's just whatever we fancy.
Yeah. Normally we've got a vague kind of quota of movies to TV shows to other stuff. But yeah, anything else anyone wants to add?
No, I think that's just about it.
So until next week, we'll say thank you for listening.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us, Amy, and see you all next week.
Spook.